the green, want the money, want the cash flow. That was fun. Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today is all about how to achieve a very easy and everyday wear makeup tutorial, and it's what I have on right now. I don't have any falsies on. The eyeshadow is very simple, and I stuck with a very nude and neutral look. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I added in some really great tips. So if y'all want to find out how to achieve this very easy look, then keep on watching. Okay, so I've already primed my skin, so go ahead and just prime your skin with whatever suits you best. I use my typical Guerlain Radiance Primer for all over my face, and then I went in with my Tarte Clean Slate Primer, and it just looks like this, and I just filled it in my T-zone area to like fill in my pores. So I got my damp beauty blender, and I'm just going to take my foundation and put it on the back of my hand, and I am using the ColourPop No Filter foundation today. And by the way, I don't know how I feel about my hair being in a bandana like this. I tried it because Casey Holmes does it, and she looks so cute when she does it. I don't feel as cute as her. Okay, so now we're just going to pounce this into the skin, just really pressing it in. And make sure it's all blended. And by the way, this foundation always looks really yellow on camera, but once I get my concealer and everything on, it looks good. Oh, by the way, I did a review on this foundation, and if you want to see it, I will link it up here. This is actually a really good foundation. It's pretty inexpensive. We are going to go in and conceal, and I'm using the ColourPop No Filter concealer, and I'm just going to do lines underneath my eyes. Don't really have a rhyme or reason. It's just what I do. And this stuff goes a very long way, so I might have used too much, but whatever. We're just going to do the same thing like we did with our foundation and pounce it into the skin. And I've heard this from Jaclyn Hill. She says that when you blend in your foundation underneath your concealer underneath your eye, you should pat it back and forth in both directions instead of just patting it in one direction like this. Because if I just was to pounce it in one direction, it's going to make it crease more, versus if I go back and forth, it's kind of going to confuse your concealer and make it behave. Now I'm going to put it on my chin, my Cupid's bow, down the bridge of my nose and my forehead. So we're just highlighting the rest of our face, so our eyes aren't the only thing that look nice and bright. We want it to all look nice and even across the face. So just continuing to press this in. You can see how much better my foundation color looks already with my concealer being on top of it. It tones down the yellowness a lot, and it looks really good. Okay, so now that we got our foundation and our concealer on, we've got to set this face, because if we don't set it, we are going to be a creasy mess. For underneath my eyes, I'm going to put the new ColourPop No Filter Setting Powder in the shade Translucent. So far I've used everything from ColourPop. I really like these products, obviously. I wouldn't be using them if I didn't. And I use the ColourPop specifically for my highlighted areas. So anywhere I put that concealer down, I am using the ColourPop No Filter Setting Powder. And I'm just still using my sponge. And I'm going to, let me tap these creases out. I'm going to set it with this powder using the sponge. Just pressing this into the skin. I find the biggest difference when setting your face with a powder using a sponge versus a brush. The sponge, because it's damp, I really feel like you can press it into the skin, versus a brush. It kind of just dusts it everywhere and it doesn't really get pushed into the skin as much. So it's really your preference, but that's really what I find the biggest difference in a sponge and a brush. And this powder is really pretty. You can see what a difference that makes. Tap out the creases before you set your under eye. You don't want to set your creases. Okay, with this same powder, I'm going to set my chin. Set my Cupid's bow area. Set my nose. Ooh, that was a lot. Set my forehead. Okay, and this is what we got so far. Now we just got to set the rest of our face where we did not put the concealer. And I am going to be using the Flower Beauty, the Satin Finish Powder in Miracle Glow. I really, really like this. You can get it at Walmart. I think you can get it at Ulta as well. And I am going to use a brush now. This is my mascara, my dual-ended brush. I think it's called the B-Square brush. And I'm just going to fluff this all over the rest of my face. I'm not using a sponge anymore because the sponge does pack on the powder a lot more than your brush will. And I'm going to be putting so much more powder down here with like my bronzer, my contour, my blush. I don't need to set this as much as I do my under eye. And I just find a brush is a lot faster. So for the rest of the face, I'm just going to put that on here really fast. Alright, and this is what we got so far. Everything looks nice and blended.
Okay, I'm back. I had to eat. I was hungry, but I ate a salad because I'm trying to lose weight. Because, I think I'm always trying to lose weight. Isn't that every girl most of the time? They're always trying to lose weight, but anyways.
Now we got to bronze up the skin. So now that we have evened out our skin tone and we set it, we look dead. So now we got to bring life back into our skin and bronze it up. So I'm going to be using my Physicians Formula. Do you think I need some more? I do. The Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This stuff is amazing and it smells so good. I want to show y'all. Okay, so my last video that I just did was all about my brushes. I want to show y'all, these are the only brushes I'll be using today, and it's actually more than what I'll be using. I have eye brushes in here that I probably won't be using, but look at the difference. So I'm showing y'all a much easier way to get a put together makeup look, but with not so much effort and work. So I'm taking my Morphe M527 brush into my butter bronzer, and I'm just going to bronze up the skin. And when you bronze up your skin, you don't have to be precise. You want to hit around your cheekbone area in the perimeter of your face. So up by your temple and then up onto your forehead. And depending on how your forehead is shaped, if you feel like you got a bigger forehead, you can go a little more heavy up here and make it look smaller. I just like to warm it up. Just keep bronzing this up. By the way, I have just the normal shade called bronzer. Has anybody tried the other shades in this? I know they have, oh my. I know they have a darker one that I'm kind of tempted to go get, because I sometimes feel like this is too light when I'm not super tan, but when I'm not tan at all, like during the winter, I love this one. But right now I feel like I could go a little bit darker, so I'm kind of tempted to go get that. Have any of y'all tried any other shades? I know they have a lighter one than this, and then they have a darker one. Anybody curious, this is available at your drugstore. I get mine from Walmart. It's at Ulta. I'm pretty sure, I think it's at Target. It's pretty much everywhere. Okay, see how much of a difference that makes? We have some color back into our skin. This is a step you can skip if you want to. I don't want to. I just want to go in with a little bit of a deeper shade and contour. And I'm going to use the Morphe M523 brush. And I'm just going to take my Kat Von D palette and I'm going to dip into these two. Whoa, that was a lot of powder. And I'm just going to take this into the contours of my cheek just to add a little more depth and dimension. Because Mama's face has gotten round from eating too many cupcakes. Well, not really cupcakes, but just eating too much crap. And so, we gotta make it look like I've lost some weight. Now I'm just taking it on my jawline. Make my jawline look nice and sharp. And I like to blend it down. And then I just take a little bit of powder that's left over on my brush and run it underneath my lip to make my bottom lip look bigger. Okay, now I got to do my nose contour. If any of y'all would like to see a video just specifically on how to contour your nose, let me know, because I mean, it's pretty basic, but you can get pretty detailed to where it makes a really big difference. Because right now you just see, like, it kind of just looks, my nose is not the smallest by any means, but contouring makes it look so much better in my opinion. So I'm going to take this lightest shade right here, my Kat Von D palette, on my Morphe E22 brush. And I'm just going to go down these sides of my nose and start slimming this nose out, making my bridge look skinnier than what it actually is. See, it just kind of makes your nose like not, before it looked like it was just kind of disappeared in the center of my face and it was just this big white thing in the center. And now that I've added this contour to it, it kind of stands out a little bit more, and my bridge does. And I will add a highlighter to the top of it and it'll make it just pop even more. Now that we are, our skin is warmed up and contoured and it doesn't look like, it's more 3D and dimensional now versus before it was kind of flat looking. Now we got to add color, some more color, meaning blush. And I'm going to take my MAC blush in the shade Melba. This is like the perfect, like this blush I feel like would go on any skin tone perfectly. And it's like not way overly pink, but it's muted enough where, I don't know. It's just, I love this blush. It's like one of my go-tos for my everyday looks. And I'm going to take this on the Morphe M530 brush. And I'm going to go a little bit heavier with my blush today since everything else is going to be so muted. I just want my cheeks to be nice and pinky and pretty. I don't know how people skip blush. I love it so much. If you watched my last video, you saw how much I used to love blush. It was too much. It was so bad that it looked like I got punched in the face. And it wasn't good. So when I'm putting on my blush, I kind of start, so here are the apples of your cheeks. I don't want my blush to be like right on the apples of my cheeks because that's just going to make your face look rounder, in my opinion. So I kind of start it a little bit behind and blend it up kind of into my bronzer and contour. And there's blush. Now we look nice and rosy and lively. Okay, now I'm going to go in and just brighten up my under eye, my chin, my cupid's bow, the bridge of my nose, and my forehead just a tad bit more just to make it like
come at you.
So when you highlight, you're making those areas like stand out, like plump and healthy. Those areas are going to be brought forward. So like our under eye, we want it to look nice and healthy. I'm going to go in, and I've been using this one a lot, but I've been wanting to try this banana out a little bit. So let's see what That is a lot of powder. Do not go heavy-handed if you have the Kat Von D palette. Okay, so I'm just, and I'm taking this on a Morphe M438 brush, and I'm just going to tap this underneath the eye. And to help clean up my nose contour, I push this highlighting shade to the sides of my nose, and I take it up pretty high. And this also helps soften the blush a little bit more. But you see how much brighter this under eye and how much it stands out compared to this one. And I'm going to take that on my chin. Cupid's bow. I'm going to take this just down the center of my nose because we do not want to mess up our nose contour. Now you see how much skinnier my bridge of my nose looks just from doing that, and just the center of my forehead. And look how much brighter that looks with that powder. I love it. We are pretty much done with the face. We need to highlight, and I'm going to use the Champagne Pop highlight by Becca. This is the one Jaclyn Hill created, and I'm taking this on my Morphe 501 brush, and I'm just going to put that on my high points of my cheeks. If you don't like highlighter, you can skip this step, but I love me some highlighter. And I'm just going to take this lightly above my eyebrow just to give my forehead a little bit of glow. When I'm doing highlighter, I like to start in the back, so most of the product is here, and I can blend it forward, because before I used to not do that, and I would put way too much up here, and I would get it to where it would start emphasizing texture. So I noticed if I start it back here by my temple and blend it forward, it just makes it look a lot softer and prettier and more blended, in my opinion. I'm going to skip out on the highlighter on my chin because I have a few zits on my chin right now. Thanks a lot, skin. And if I was to put highlighter on my chin where those zits were, they would be emphasized like no other. And do we really want that? No. Now that our face is done, I'm going to set this really fast. And now all of this powder is just going to disappear and melt into my skin. Now we got to do our brows. If you have nice full brows, I would just like barely fill them in with a pencil, but you can see my brows are struggling. I am missing so much hair from over tweezing my brows back in the day. So I've got to fill them in like I usually do. I wish I had nice full brows where I could just have some days where I don't fill them in as much, but of course not. So I'm just gonna sit here and fill in my brows real fast. Brows are done, and I put my ColourPop concealer on my eyes, and now I need to set those eyes into place so we don't have creases on our eyelids. Now that those are set, I am going to move on to my eyes, and I'm doing very simple eyeshadow. I'm literally using one eyeshadow in my crease, and then I will use a highlighting shade for my brow bone and inner corner. I'm using the Morphe 350 palette, and I'm just going to take this center shade right here. And if you want, you could totally skip this step, but we are talking about me, and I am extra. So I'm going to take this. I actually got a new Morphe set from Ulta. They just started carrying Morphe. Like I said, I'm taking this shade right here. And I'm just going to focus this on the outer corner of my eye. And I'm just taking a shade that is like pretty much like not much darker than my skin tone. You could totally skip this step if you wanted to, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to put this in my outer V area. This is just going to add a little bit of depth into your eye, but nothing crazy. See, it adds just a tiny bit of something, but it's nothing crazy. It's super easy. It's one eyeshadow, and I'm just popping that in my outer crease. Okay, that's all I'm doing. See, it's very minimalistic and easy. Anybody could do this. My daughter could do this. Your dogs and cats could do this. I'm taking my Jaclyn Hill palette that she did with Morphe, and I'm taking this first shade right here called In Light, and I'm going to pop that on my brow bone and my inner corner. And the highlighting is just going to make it pop. And putting it in your inner corner, just make sure inner corner bright. And I'm going to drag this underneath a little bit. Okay, this chair. And I'm going to take it a little up here. Okay, do you see how much bigger and awake and open my eye looks with that highlight? This and this, y'all need to do it. Okay, now I'm going to take my Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in Perversion. And it's just a black, and I'm just going to line my waterline. Now I'm going to take the Morphe M432 brush. It is this flat brush, and I'm using the same eyeliner I just used on my waterline, and I'm literally going to just put it directly onto the brush, and I'm just focusing this on the outer half of my eye. So pretty much where I kind of put the eyeshadow is where I want to place this. Don't tug on your eye like I am. This is the only way I can do my eyeliner. Do what you can. Do you. Okay, so I'm going to put this on the outer corner of my eye. I'm just pretty much putting this on like an eyeliner, but putting it on with a brush is going to make it a little more, or it's going to make it softer and more natural looking. Okay, now that I got that on there, I'm going to flick it up towards that eyeshadow. So it's just going to blend that out and make it softer, like that. Doing the eyeliner on top just opens up your eye. It makes it look bigger. It brings the shape back to it. So you can see that eye compared to that eye. I do want to take that shade that I took in the 350 palette right here and just smudge it underneath my lash line just to connect it to the top and make everything look a little more cohesive. I like this so far. I like the way this looks. I'm going to add on some mascara. I'm going to put the Lash Paradise on. Y'all know this is my Ride or Die mascara from the drugstore. Since I'm not putting falsies on, I'm going to curl my eyelashes. I like to pulsate. It just sounds wrong. But I like to pulsate the eyelash curler. I don't know why, I just do. These are from MAC and they actually suck. I hate these, but they're all that I have. Oh, let me know if y'all have like an eyelash curler that y'all love that really actually curls your lashes. Let me know because this one sucks. Okay, so let's just put this mascara on. Okay, there's one eye with mascara. Mascara makes a huge difference. My eyelashes suck. They are so short and they don't hold a curl. They need all the help they can get, which is why when I do dramatic looks, I have to put falsies on because my eyelashes are non-existent. Okay, we are coming together. Now, all that's left is lippies. I'm taking my Milani lip liner in All Natural. It is the number 4. Okay, and now I'm going to take the Jeffree Star liquid lipstick in the shade Mannequin. This is one of my all-time favorite nude lipsticks. And since we're doing a very simple everyday look, this nude. And that, guys, is this completed look. Very, very, very simple and easy. Very wearable for every single day. I hope this was helpful. I feel like a lot of y'all will be able to put this to use. And if y'all, I have another video in mind. If y'all would like to see how I take a look something like this to a nighttime look, let me know if y'all would like that. Let's leave a star emoji for like nighttime, you know. Leave a star emoji down below if y'all would want to see a video on how I take a daytime look like this into a nighttime evening, like smoky, like I'm ready, I'm here, sexy look. Let me know and I can do that for you. But if y'all liked this video, please hit the thumbs up button. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Come join my channel with all of my fabulous tips. And be sure and hit the notification bell so you get notified every single time I upload. Be sure and enter my giveaway that I have going on. I will post that video right here. Go ahead and click on this video and watch the video and see what you have to do to enter. Very easy. It ends in a week. I will be announcing the winner in a week from today. And then go ahead and hit this button to subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. But I love y'all and I will see y'all on Wednesday. Mwah!